Here we are on an opening bell with Netflix up at the high, and MMTs will look at where that exhaustion morning high comes into play. As it's up here, you can see that 120 breakout handle. What a great long position. Ringing the cash register at the top is always a healthy thing to do. Once again, at 6:42 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3/22/2012, one of the things we would like to show you is how that 645 put and how they've been walking this Google trade up live right now. Oh, yes. Watch that entry at 631. That was the key. And then selling into that resistance as MMTs are hard at work. And you can clearly see where yesterday's shorts were that we did. And at the end of the day, they all fell off the hook from these highs up here. Now, yes, we're trading it back up to the 670 handle in the long side of trades. However, on once the intraday process, you got to know when to sell into it. And how do you sell into strength is as you're going through the opening bell, MMT, you would know that your diamond resistance levels are very clear and accurate, and your wholesale entry went straight up. And you can clearly see that high frequency computing model machines are called computer generated buy and sell program scripts. The public isn't used to it, so they don't know how to handle these moves. But let me just tell you something. We got them down here because that's exactly, it was minus 0.60, a little bit more than a half a delta. That was minus 8.98 dollar ratio, negative ratio entry. And you can see that teeny expansion live. Here it is, all within 14 minutes of that opening bell. That's exactly how it is. And once again, by having the limit orders down here in the high frequency teeny bot script, the MMT application with the entries and the exits, great move right to the diamond resistance in that 15-minute opening bell here today, 3/22/2012. Once again, for all the new MMTs, you are taught to have the limit orders down here in your training so that if when they flash wick down there, there's a 631 low and a 642.90 high. Even if you were getting in at 632.50, it was okay. And today's teeny is 93 cents. And you have gone right now a total of what? 100% on this bar. So I want to make sure that the application is updating. Let's take a look at that bid and ask. We continue to make 51 highs and 5 lows on that opening bell. And once again, that $630 put that people were buying, boy, that really got taken to the woodshed. That's down here at 55 pennies. We are going to take a look at where that 645 was, because that's a trade that was done yesterday on Google, was the 650 put. At the end of the day, or all stocks sold off intraday yesterday. So far you've got a $13.37 range on it, and that's what you do when you're in bull breakouts. Here it is right here, MMT. You want to talk about wholesale? Look at that 645 put. It's right there. It's burning that high. It's all about how do I get that wholesale print. That high was $9. Just remember, when you're making a market, you're looking at it just like we did yesterday at the 650 put. Yeah, it stayed up there most of the day, and it was at the end of the day that selling had came straight in. And once again, we would like to show you, MMT, that the close was $7 and the low is $4.40 and the bid is $4.20 right now. Put bids out here, MMT, at, let's say that perfect entry wholesale bid is going to be about $1.90. $1.90 right now, just in case we break those highs over here, everybody. If I break these highs, we're going to see how many highs we put in. So far, we have 69 highs in 17 minutes of that opening bell. And when we got those lower entries down here, that's the wholesale entry right here for that MMT. That was that drop down bid. Look, 639 drops that bid range down. Then look at that. Here it goes. It's getting top heavy at 85 pennies. We got 71 intraday highs working. We got that lower bid coming down on that 645 put. Once again, everybody, it's all about one thing. How do I get that wholesale bid? And then how do I put that to work and then sell it back to the public for a higher price? And by understanding the number of an opening bell print with the number 71 highs, is that's where you're getting to this wholesale market at 420. And it's how I get that entry. And we're going to get entries down there. We're going to see if these contracts, if the highs are to be bought, they're 430, they're 420, they're a dime off of that low with a $9 high. That's wholesale, taking that dollar capital risk out so that that risk has been minimized. That dollar capital risk must be minimized. It's almost $5. Look. See, it's 420 by 450. And see how the trend is holding up toward the high. I'll even bring up that Google chart on this opening bell. Here it is right now. This is that top. This is where we shorted yesterday on the 650 puts, and they paid big. And these puts here now are going to be a lower high than yesterday. Okay? And you have a series of 71 highs into the peak. Brian Planko pay one at 440, make a market on it. Let's make a market 20 cents above it. So that way you go 430s in here to try to keep that bid a dime above it. There you go, 23 pennies. 23 pennies went off. 30 pennies, 23 pennies. Look at that, 133 volume on the opening bell. And most of them are at the retail entry. There's the number of highs, and this red bar, just like yesterday's reversal, we have to go through the same type of an event. This time you're coming off that bottom, and you're going to sell into the move and take out all the profits during the number of highs. And it's live, it's here, it's now, it's the opening bell, and there we are by 410, by 430. Now, there's that. Uh-oh, he broke a series of highs, and he's right there. So there's that low of $4, and there's the 20-minute bell that just went off. The 20-minute bell MMTs. And you can see that spike right to the strike price. Notice that this is a weekly, how to trade a weekly 645 put, special series, $5 range, wholesale, down at the bottom, removing that capital risk based on when do we hit that major resistance level? And this is pretty much what we did yesterday. But on this opening bell, it was a left elbow, what the entries at that wholesale market maker bid, and straight up to that resistance, selling into resistance and getting short. Long side, long debit, ring the cash register and sell into that move and buy another series of higher highs, 79. Look at that thing burn. Look at it burn. And this is that Google trade. There, he just popped it right up here. No. Well, you're going to make the bottom right in here because you're reversing right into the high. So that bid and ask is getting a little wider. So let's see if they cross the bids and the 645s disappear and they print right back down here now within this 20-minute opening bell. Here we peaked at a 101 highs and a 50 penny drop, but the ask is right there on that high. Now, let's see if they print through that or they cross the market and sell the bid. Here's that resistance level, and selling your long position and getting short into resistance is always the recipe of making a market. That's what the school is about. Now, That 102 highs is remarkable at 6:53 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Knowing that we're going to trade this thing during markets, it's starting to do like Apple was doing the other day with these big lower entries. 639, 631 buying, 632, 631.50s, 632.50 up to the 633, and that was the interday's highs of 107, 350 over here at the wholesale bid. One thing about it, MMT, I got your bids are at $2.80 here, and they made a low of 358 right now. Someone just, yes, I understand that. 5 at 320 and 5 at 280. That's where we're bidding. So let's get that straight. We have 108 intraday highs, and we're setting up. Come right back up here to where we got short yesterday. So going long right back up there. That's a high frequency model computing machine within the ECN, electronic communication networks pricing scripts. 358 on a low, 60 by 90, 30 pennies wide. 20 is down here. That's our bid. We also have bids at 280. Right now, we're going to look at where the price exhaustion comes in on this 3-minute chart right here, where this red bar is at that half bar. So basically, MMTs, on this live opening bell, we will once again recap the trade. And throughout the rest of the calendar day, is you're going to see that this is where we had shorted this yesterday. And Apple and Google and Priceline and all of the stocks, because they're so overbought, the market is so overbought that they all sold down like this. But look at the mathematical long entry down here, right back up to this reversal short. And that is a reversal bar right here, right now at 6:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 25 minutes in the opening bell. Learn how to trade the first 30 minutes of that opening bell and how to get that price movement and how to sell that resistance level and how to break that half bar, how to take out that half bar. This is the half bar support level in the middle of these diamonds, and you can clearly see that the contracts made a low and you made your highs, and you have your reversal, and you have your entries. A lot of entries came in at $3.70. 366 contracts bought at $3.70, and they will be sold out at a higher price. And that's what making a market is about. So there it is, 366 contracts at that 370 benchmark. And once again, the lesson learned is that $9 was a high, and people got stuffed in these 645 puts. We did not, and the truth speaks for itself. And that's that first low in the first 26-minute print. So we can clearly see someone just bought 440s because you're starting to get that $2 reversal in the equity in the bid and ask. How to trade the first 30-minute opening bell? Google